Welcome to the Intuitive Ascending Mind podcast with your host, Alia Yasmin Khan. Throughout this series, you'll learn how cultivating a growth mindset can unlock your true potential and impact every aspect of your life. Join Alia and her guest each episode as they dive deep into strategies for personal development and lasting transformation. Now, here's Alia.
Welcome, everybody, to the Intuitive Ascending Mind podcast. Joining me on today's show is Alexandra Quinn. Alexandra is into business and leadership development and is a coach. She comes all the way from Sydney, Australia to deliver this amazing knowledge and content. I can't wait to have this conversation with you, Alexandra. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Alia, for having me. I fly all the way from Sydney, Australia. Yay!
This is so exciting. You're the first, I think the first podcast I've done from Sydney. So this is a new continent for me. So welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your journey.
Where to begin? I was born and raised in China in a small town, and I grew up in poverty and in the era of one-child policy loomed large in China. And my entire life, I witnessed these girls being abandoned. And being a girl in my family, the only child in my family, so my entire life was living in this fear of abandonment. So in order to prove that I'm worthy to be on this planet Earth, I always seek approvals and acceptance from my parents. And I always push myself to my limit. And they want me to get good grade at school, to study hard and to get into university, to become an accountant and work for a bank, have a stable paycheck, get married and have kids. I have my entire life planned out. Yeah. And that's exactly what I followed through because I wanted to make my parents proud. I wanted to prove it to them that I'm worthy. I wanted to prove it to them that I'm worth to be kept at home. I can be better than the boys. Yeah. And so that's exactly, I went into accountancies. They want me to become an accountant. And I worked in what was so hard to get into the Big Four accounting firm, PwC. And I started my career there. And because I was trying so hard to prove that I'm worthy, that I'm good enough to be in this place, I earned my place. And I worked 70, 80 hours a week on average. Wow. And within 2 years, I got burnout. I didn't know what to do. And then I know there's a better place in this planet Earth. And I start to look for maybe China, everyone work hard. That's the circumstances, condition, and situation. That's the life in China. But I noticed something bigger than that for me. So I start to look for any other countries can I move to. If I change my country, maybe my whole life would change. And so I done my research and I decided to come to Sydney, Australia. And in 2006, with one backpack, one-way ticket, I say goodbye to everything that I have in China, including my parents, including my friends, including my everything, my parents, and I landed in Sydney, Australia. And I started my whole life again. I thought I had this hope. If I change my country, my life would be different. But I didn't realize back then that my subconscious programming did not change. I still deep down thinking that I'm not good enough. I'm still trying so hard to prove that I'm worthy enough to be on this planet Earth. And so I keep on working hard. And I got my first job in a PKF, one of the top 5 accounting firms in Australia, the local firms, because all I knew was auditing. That's all my skill set has. So I went back to accounting field and as an auditor. And I thought, wow, I'm now in a new country. I have a job and everything would be different. Yeah. Again, my subconscious programming did not change. I still think I'm not good enough. I still think that I'm not working hard enough. I still try my best to prove myself that I'm worthy on this planet Earth. Guess what? I got burnout again. And I said, why is that happening to me? Why is always me working so hard and I got burnout? And I thought, well, look at those people working in the bank. They have a great life. You know, we're in Australia. We're proud to have this work-life balance.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I work hard and I thought it was my career. Being an auditor was always hard. And so if I work in a bank and be a financial accountant, maybe my life would be different. So I changed the direction. I got into the banking. I worked for ANZ, Westpac, BT Financial Groups, all those big names in the financial institutes. And when I got in there, a couple years down the track, guess what happened? I got burnout again. I was so internally feeling exhausted, unfulfilled, and I didn't know my purpose. And until one day, my daughter looked at me and she said, Mommy, you always ask us to dream big and achieve high. So what's your dream? I have no words. I have no words, but only tears streaming down my face at that moment. And I realized that if I don't break the chain of doing what others expected of me, then my children is going to follow my footsteps instead of their own dreams.
Yeah.
It was a hard realization because my daughter was already 9.5. And I realized she only do what I do, not follow what I told her what to do.
Right.
And for her to be able to change her trajectory, I need to lead the way. And that's, I begin a search journey about, well, who am I? Why I'm here? What am I going to do? And you know, that journey of searching for your purpose, and maybe some of your listeners are on this journey and looking for the purpose, looking for why am I here on this planet Earth? And that's when I met Bob Proctor and I became a Proctor Gallagher consultant. And then I went into a business consulting as well and become a certified business coach as well. So that is when I found my purpose is really to be the dream warriors, leading the way, overcome all the obstacles and challenges in life, and follow through and make our dream to come into reality. And that's why I'm now doing my very best to inspire others to dream bigger and become a dream warriors for your
Wow.
own dreams.
That is an insane story. That is amazing. Like hearing the journey, hearing how you were trapped in that paradigm in the subconscious mind and it kept rearing its head again, rearing its head again. Those moments in life, I think, really makes us stop and say, what do I need to learn in this? You know, like I could just imagine getting to that third burnout and you're like, what am I not learning in this? Like, what am I supposed to learn? You know, I think that's mind-boggling that you were able, well, first off, kudos because you were able to identify it. Secondly, I'm so grateful that you changed the paradigm, and the catalyst, I think, is your daughter. She's a catalyst in this. She's the one that said, "Hey, you know how you tell me to do stuff." And kids have a way of making us really self-actualize, don't they?
I know exactly. I'm just so grateful for her awareness, you know, to the discrepancy of what she's being told and what she's seeing
Yeah.
is completely different. And that she start to question because children, they're not scared of asking these questions. She's at the place, at the time that she exploring and finding her place. And I'm so forever grateful for her to ask that question.
That's amazing. I love Bob Proctor. Like I absolutely love Bob Proctor. I think some of the information and the knowledge that he's brought to the world um has changed lives for so much better for people, for communities, for everybody. And I think he's such a valuable influence on this planet. Um what made you want to learn Proctor Gallagher's processes? What ignited your decision to go in that direction?
Well, I didn't know the word paradigm
Uh-huh.
before. I was not in personal development. I didn't know any subconscious programming. I know about, debit and credit. I know balance sheet and P&L. I know everything about accounting, but I never explored our mind. But that is the biggest assets that we have as a human being. So when I heard him said, lots of people go through their life, they play so safe, and they tiptoe through their life and hope they make it to the end,
I know.
which is the death,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You gotta live this life no matter what. Why would you play so safe and hope they can make it to death? We make it to death regardless.
Yeah.
And that was the exact description of me, how I was living my life at that point in time. I realized that everything, I was avoiding all the risk. I was
I
playing
was
so
going to
safe.
ask you, do you think it was fear? Was fear your dominating like emotion?
The fear of being abandoned, the fear of being seen, the fear of making mistakes, because being born in the one-child policy era, I faced the real reality of being abandoned. Any moment, they can just get rid of me because I'm a girl. They wanted to have a boy. If they only have one, they would choose to have a boy over me. So my whole life have been trying to prove that I'm good enough so that I can survive, so that I can stay on this planet Earth. So that it's real, whole life was really fear-based. Yes.
Today, what is different in your method of thinking versus 20 years ago?
So today would be more exploring, with that curiosity of exploring what could be possible. What if it worked? What if I do this? What if I take the risk? So it's a different mindset of exploring the what if, not in the negative way. What if you fail? you make it to death anyway. So there's no what if that we are going to die. And so that sentence stuck in my mind over and over again. If I'm going to live, what kind of a life I wanted to live?
That's so I love when people go through that transformation, because to me that is like, it's mind-boggling when you start like questioning your life. You've kind of hit a certain rock bottom in order to say like, what am I really doing here? Like, where am I going? What am I doing? What's the purpose in all of this? And every single one of us have hit that point in our life at some point where we had to like reevaluate, who am I? What am I doing? Where am I going? What's my goal? What's my end goal? Do I even have a goal? And if I don't have a goal, I'm going to be depressed. Like my goal is going to be death if I don't have a goal to like live. So, it's crazy, but we really do live in this very dualistic aspect of life. And I think most people do not understand the concept of paradigm. So will you share what is a paradigm?
Yes, paradigm is multitude of habit, not just one habit, it's actually multitude of habit that's stored in our subconscious mind, and that control over how we act, how we show up, and it also control how we think.
Absolutely.
Like my father, he grew up in a very difficult situation, and all his life was living in poverty, was living in scarcities, and also looking for things that doesn't work or in negative. And that is how his whole being, the being is actually your thoughts, your feeling, and your action is a composite of everything. And that's how he show up in his life. And so I grew up in that environment. So I've been programmed to be like that, to think that way, right? And so as I went through that transformation, it was really hard not knowing that I was just looking at what is missing. I was looking at what done wrong, what could have done better. So that was my programming, my thinking process. And I love what Bob Proctor said. He said, write everything down. You gotta have to write your goal down. You have to write this gratitude. You gotta use your pen and paper. And I do have blank a piece of paper. So I just use this, form a new habit using my pen and start to write things on a brand new piece of paper. And so I start to write down my goal. I start to write down who I wanted to become and what I wanted to leave behind on my funeral. What kind of what kind of speech I want people to talk about on my funeral. I
What is
start to
your
write all those.
legacy? Yeah.
That is exactly right. How I want my children to remember me. And those are the things I start to write it down and it's really through the repetition and reprogramming. Every single time I notice that I am looking at things that is negative pole of a situation, now I have the awareness because I train my mind to notice what I'm noticing. Notice that I am having that kind of thoughts, get pulled into criticizing myself, get pulled into looking what it's missing, get pulled into looking at the criticisms, mistake that I made, or the things I could have done better. Then I switch, I realize, oh my gosh, I'm on the wrong train of thoughts. And that is the awareness. It's first pointing time that you can change that trajectory. As soon as you're aware that you have that thoughts, then you can change. You can think of anything in a millisecond. So then I start to train my mind. What's good in here? What is the lesson I need to learn? What's the lesson I need to harness? And I start to look for the good and look for the positivities, look for the opportunities. And you're not going to do it just one time or two times. You get good at it. It takes repetition, repetition, repetition. And that is how our subconscious mind is programming. So that is how paradigm can be changed. There's two ways that you can change your paradigm. One way is through spaced repetition. And second way is through the emotional impact. Something really bad happened, or 9/11, something really significant that happened, but they are usually negative. So I love to go back to what you said before, Alia, that you say people are at the rock bottom and then they start to look for change.
Yeah.
And this quote stuck in me. It's, you don't have to be sick to get better.
Right.
Doesn't really matter where you are at right now in your life. Maybe it's not at the rock bottom. Maybe it's pretty good. You're content, but you still can get better. You can do more in life. And there's nothing wrong with that, to wanting more in life. And so it's just, you don't have to be sick to get better. You can be better just wanting to be better.
Absolutely. It's interesting. You don't have to have that catalyst, but that catalyst is really what makes you go through the evaluation process. But bringing it back to our paradigms, we don't understand how powerful these behaviors are that we have embedded into us. And when I say behaviors, I mean methods of thinking, feelings, methods of feeling, belief systems. Our belief systems impact our reality. And for me, I talk about how the thoughts and the emotions, they're married together, they create emotions, and that emotion is what's going to take you to the destination. It's energy and motion. And if you can't manage the thought and the feelings effectively, you can't get to the desired outcome. And it's a lot of times it takes us really thinking about, how do I think about this? But wait a minute, what's expressed through my body through this process? Because your thoughts could be like thinking a certain kind of way, but your feeling is not in alignment with the thoughts. Your feelings are like, nope, I don't think I can do that. Your thoughts are like, yeah, we can do this. I think we can do this. And you're out of alignment. And it's the unification of the thoughts and the feelings, to get you to the desired outcome and the understanding of that. But paradigms are so powerful. They run our lives. And part of my system, when I'm working with my clients is to get them to understand the power behind writing, like you said.
Are you tired of feeling stuck? Unable to reach your personal goals? Imagine unlocking the powerful duality of your mind to propel yourself towards success. With our mental duality guide, you can finally achieve the personal development you've always desired. This guide is not just another self-help book. It's a transformative resource designed to help you harness the hidden powers of your mind, guiding you through the building blocks to create a structured approach to goal setting and achievement. What's in it for you? Clarify your goals. Learn how to define what you truly want in life. Overcome mental blocks. Identify and dismantle the barriers holding you back. Boost your confidence. Develop a stronger belief in your ability to succeed. Achieve consistent progress. Implement strategies that keep you moving forward even when challenges arise. But how do I know this is real? Countless individuals have transformed their lives using our techniques. One user, after applying the principles from the guide, reported a 91% increase in productivity and a newfound clarity in their life direction. Here's the story. Like many, they struggled with conflicting thoughts and feelings about their goals. After engaging with our guide, they learned to balance their rational thinking with emotional insight, leading to breakthroughs they never thought possible. And what are the guarantees? We stand by our guide with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't see progress within 30 days, we'll refund your purchase. No questions asked. Why now? The longer you wait, the longer your dreams remain out of reach. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Take action today and start your journey toward personal growth and achievement. What do you have to lose? Nothing but your limitations. Join the ranks of those who have discovered their potential through our mental duality guide. Act now and unlock the door to your future.
People don't take, they take this part for granted, but writing is the most powerful. And speaking and seeing and listening and just being immersed from a sensory perspective really impacts the subconscious.
Absolutely. There's only one person or one part of your mind that you need to convince
Yeah.
to do the thing that you want. That is your subconscious mind.
Yeah,
Once you convince your subconscious mind to believe this is the new me and this is the things I'm capable of, your subconscious mind is going to bring everything that you need in order for you to achieve that.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely believe that. And it's interesting because the subconscious mind is really your autonomous mind. Like once you've wired it for the change, it happens automatically. It's like it's your defaults. It's about setting the defaults correctly. Going back to like your childhood, I could just imagine, because whatever you observed in like the first 7 years of your life really shaped and molded the rest of your life. And likewise, today now you get to impact your children or your child in that process as well. So that's pretty powerful.
Yes, and also, doesn't really matter what age that you are at, it's never too late to change your paradigm.
Yeah.
And I have one of my clients, when she came to me, she's already 79. Imagine that paradigm has been running her, has been there for a very, very long time. But the good news, as soon as you're aware of it, you can then take back the power, take back the responsibility to change it, because there's only one person that you can change, and that's you. And so she was stuck in a toxic work environment for over 10 years, and she had she had her own a partnered business before, but that she couldn't put the food on the table, and then she have to went back to a toxic work environment for over 10 years, and she had a mortgage, she has all these bills, obligations that she need to fulfill. And then she's at 79, and she said, I need to change, but I don't know the what, and I don't know the how. And guess what? Within 2 months, she not only started her own independent business, but she also turned her monthly income into weekly income just within 2 months, just by
That's
changing
fantastic.
this subconscious programming, subconscious belief that I can't do that, I don't have what it takes, I'm stuck. That kind of language just completely changed her. It's very powerful.
That's amazing. You do this in the realm of business. So share with everybody, like, what do you identify? Like, what are the key indicators that you look for when a client comes to you to say, you know what, I want to start this business, but I don't know where to start, like how do you work on their mindset in that process?
Yes. Business owners, if you are out there, you're listening to this, remember, a business journey also come with an emotional journey. When you just started your business, you are excited. Yes, I can do this. But then when the challenges comes, business is a spiritual game. It really is. There's things coming, and you start to grow, you get excited, and then there's so many, you're wearing so many hats, and that is emotional roller coaster. And then you start to have these setbacks. Oh, I should be there a long time ago. Why am I just trying so hard? I can't physically do any more. I'm working already so many hours in the day. And so many things I need to do. You're looking at your long to-do list. You're looking at all these amazing people making achievements. I should be there, but I'm not. Right? So that is when when you are in that emotional state, you can only attract what you are in harmony with. That's it. When you are in harmony with those struggles, when you are in harmony with all those setbacks, you
Yes.
attract more of those
Yeah,
into your
you're in
life.
harmony with this is not good enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I heard a business story where a person, she's started this business, and then she really worked really hard, and she get to $500,000 in her bank account, really work hard. But along that journey, she wasn't be grateful. She's, I want more. This is not enough. I want more. And when I need 500K in my bank account. Why is not there yet? And guess what? When she hit 500K, she lose it all.
Wow.
There's a scam happened,
Uh-huh.
and then identity being stolen, and her
Wow.
money being frozen, and she lost all access to her bank account
It's
because she
amazing
was
how
not.
gratitude influences everything.
It is indeed. And then when she realized it was her, was in harmony with those not good enough, not being grateful, and I want 500K. Why only give me 100K? Why only give me 200K? Why only give me 300K? I want more. I should be 500K. And so she was in that state of mind, even though, yes, she hit her 500K in her bank account. When she hit it, she lose it all.
Yeah.
So that gives us a lesson, really start to need to shift, notice where your mind is spinning the wheel. Why are you spinning the wheel? You're spinning the wheel because you are in harmony with the struggle. And when you are been doing the same thing, you're thinking the same thoughts over and over again, and then you're feeling the same thing, that same feeling, and then you make the decision based on your feeling at the time. When you think that it's not good enough, you work harder, you go try harder. That's the energy behind it. It's push energy. When you're not aware of that, that's what you attract, and that's where we come in to help you. When you, for one of the accounting firm that I've been working with, they working in the last 2 years, working really hard, 500K in revenue, but they say, I want 1 million. I want to just can't push that mark. How can I do that, break that ceiling? So that is when they start to realize that they are hitting a ceiling, a glass ceiling. They just try everything they can. They try marketing, they try organic, they try ads, they try Facebook, they try Google ads, whatever that may be. They just try different things. The business is capped at that point. And that's when they come to me and say, well, we need to break through. You can't break through a business plateau unless you break through your mental plateau. And
Yes.
that is the power of
So
that.
powerful words right there. You cannot, absolutely right. You cannot break through unless you can readjust the mind. And as you grow, understanding and mastering the mind is the most important thing, because you're always going to have a desire to scale to the next level. You know, I remember hiking and I got to the top of the mountain and I looked around and I was like, there's higher peaks. Like, how do I get up there? And that's just how we are. Because it doesn't matter, like we can take on what looks like the highest peak from the bottom. But then once you get to the top, you look around and you're like, oh, there's always going to be a higher peak somewhere. And you're going to have this desire to want to conquer that higher peak. And if you don't have that desire, you lose the enjoyment, the pleasure from life. Because I think part of our pleasure is that desire to be goal-oriented beings and to have that goal. That goal is what motivates us. You look at people that don't have goals, they are just barely creeping through life, like you talked about, like they're barely getting through life to get to death. And life is just so worth living. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially, and it's a journey.
Yeah.
It's your ability to cope or handle this emotional roller coaster. The first time you may feel sick. Oh my gosh, it's just, a lot of emotion get involved. But then you start to realize, hey, hang on, I can just stay calm.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. My business is still there. My clients are still here. I just need to get to that vibrational match and they will come to me.
Yeah.
You gotta keep doing things from a different energetic feel. Things start change for you.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
apply the new, business strategies, the growth strategies, and then you will have a different result. But if you have the thought patterns, the same vibration of struggle, then it doesn't really matter how many different strategies that you use. It's not going to work for you because you can only attract what you are in harmony with. So once we help our clients to really lift their vibrational frequencies and through their thought patterns, they attract different things happening in their life, and that different business opportunities show up.
Absolutely. I think it's the first time you play around with this stuff and you start to see the change happen. That's what gets you excited about it, because then you're like, what else can I create? What else can how much more can I do? Like, what else is there that I haven't conquered that I could do? And I think being able to teach that, you must feel very privileged in the ability to share that and watch the transformations happen in your clients' lives.
Absolutely. It's so fulfilling to see them fulfill their own dreams, and being here to allow them to borrow my belief in them. It's
Mhm.
so powerful. You know, you may not believe that you can do it. You may not have the belief in yourself yet, but that's why you want to work with coaches, right? Coaches hold you accountable. Coaches believe in you more than you believe in yourself, because they've been there, they've done that, and they help people to achieve that. So so much respect to what you do, Alia, for helping people to break through those mental barriers.
Absolutely. I love what I do because the interesting thing that I think really sets coaches apart is you have to have to really be an effective coach. You have to have that insight, that intuition. And as you're sitting there with your client, like intuitively, as they're speaking, you're really a good listener. You're listening to what their paradigms are. You because they're speaking about it. You can, yeah, words are so powerful. I know exactly how someone thinks just based on the way that they speak. And as I start to dissect what it is that they're saying, okay, well, that's a thought before you articulated it out of your lips, that started as a thought. So that thought is not an empowering thought. That thought is a disempowering thought. So, becoming conscious. Um, do you have a specific technique that you use to help people become more aware, to open up their awareness? Because I think that's the biggest challenge, even as you may encounter a client, and I have, like, certain clients are simply not conscious. What do you do?
Well, our mind can be trained. And one of the things that I work with my clients and I get them to do every single day, it's definitely gratitude. When
Okay.
I started the gratitude challenge, it was hard. I never ever, my mind was hardwired to look at what's missing and what's not there, or what I could have done better. When I start to write on a blank piece of paper and say, what am I grateful for today? Oh my goodness, the first 10 days, I could sit there for an hour and I only have a few items on it. Now that I could write hundreds of things in just a few minutes. So gratitude, train your mind to start to look for things that you can be grateful for. And remember, resentment and gratitude cannot coexist, just cannot.
Oh,
So
words of
when you,
wisdom right there.
oh
Do
yeah,
go on. You have my attention.
yes, so write that gratitude list every single day, and also start to collect the evidence that your subconscious mind bring the wins for you. For what does that mean is we have a winning book. So you start to document everything that you manifest in your mind. So
I
you have a list of evidence that you manifest everything in your life, in your world. And
Yeah.
when you start to train your mind to see those things, you increase your awareness to look for those. Is the I cannot pronounce it properly, but it's our RAS,
What is it?
uh, RAS, reticular activation system.
Consistent. Yeah. Reticular activation system. Yes, yes, yes. So that's part of being the observer. That's part of that's part of observing things and becoming aware of what you're observing. When I do my coaching with my clients, I encourage them to get their observation involved, bring their attention, like, consciously with their eyes to their goals, speak about their goals, listen to things, affirmations that will take them to their goals, or listen to knowledge that will guide them towards accomplishing the goals. So maybe it's starting up a business, and maybe you're spending time, studying the different nuances of the style of business you're wishing to get started in. And then the final part, which is the most important, is the pen, is like picking up the pen and writing, and actually writing those goals down, and writing the affirmations down, and writing the gratitude down. All of these things, there's so many key indicators that will determine whether or not you're going to be successful.
Absolutely. It's vision driven.
Yeah.
So what I call is vision branding. So one of the things I do is bring in your own self-image of your own self, your own stories into your business branding. So your brand is become your combine of your personal branding with your business branding. So your business actually represent you. It's an extension of you, of what you do, what you believed in, the value, the mission that you are in, and that people will attract it to you, that it's in alignment with your value, with your vision. So create a vision for your own business.
Yes. So let's say someone listening to this has never understood mindset and knows nothing about it. What would be some key things that you would say, start here?
Absolutely. Start with the ending in mind. What kind of business you wanted to create? And start from there.
Okay, that's great advice. I love that. Start with the end in mind. So build the end result of the business in your mind conceptually before the business can become manifest. Walk in the doors of the business, see what the business looks like. If it's like a consulting business like ours, in my mind, I was traveling everywhere. And I mean, I've been traveling everywhere as a result of this business. And I absolutely love it, because I think, why not enjoy travel and do business at the same time, and do a business that you absolutely love doing. Start with the end in mind. I absolutely love that. I do train people to do that, but I love that being reinforced from you. I think that's beautiful, beautiful wisdom, and I think it's very effective. Any other tips you would give to somebody listening and say, how can I apply this into my life today? We've got gratitude, which is one. I love that. And then we've got start with the end in mind. Anything else?
Create your business vision.
Okay.
And have your mission statement. Why you started this business. In this emotional journey of creating a business, there are times it's hard. There are times there are challenges and obstacles coming to your world. You gotta anchor down. Why do I need to go through this? Why am I doing this for? And for me personally, it's not for anybody else. It's for my daughter, for my children, to be able to break through the chain of doing what other people expected of them, and to follow their own dreams. And that's anchored down to what I do and why I started this business. And that's why my business name is called Dream Warriors Coaching, because I do believe that you gotta be a warrior for your dreams to come true. And so why you started your business.
That's great advice. All of this is just such amazing stuff, really good stuff. Thank you so much for sharing some of that knowledge. Any lasting thoughts you want to give to our audience today?
Yes, absolutely. I always end with keep dreaming big, because your dream matters.
I love that. Thank you, Alexandra Quinn, for being on the show today. I think you sent so much amazing knowledge and information to all of our listeners today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. Peace and blessings, my friends.